All right, ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me okay? Yes. All right.
Testing.
Perfect. All right, we've got, nope, now it's dead.
Hello?
All right, we've got, nope, off and on. I'll be loud.
Testing. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Rikishi Q&A. I think you just gotta kind of, there you go.
Did. Hello?
Hello.
Still not working, wants to work.
Doesn't want to work.
Hey, somebody's messing with us back there.
I know.
I had to give that
I think I was
technician a
getting
stink
ripped
face.
already.
All right, well, let's do this.
All right.
Well, in case our mic goes in and out, you guys can kind of hear us, right?
Yeah. Talk
All right.
loud.
Well, as first of all, I would like to thank you
Yeah, sorry.
for being up here with me for this Q&A.
Of course.
I'd personally like to thank each and every one of you guys for taking the time to be able to come to my first Q&A here in Fairbanks, Alaska, and also to be a part of such a wonderful Comic-Con. This is my first time here at Fairbanks doing Alaska Comic-Con, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it like I've done. You know, from yesterday, I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I definitely didn't know that there was a lot of wrestling fans here. You guys showed up strong yesterday. Nothing but love when you guys stopped by my booth. So I just want to personally say, on behalf of my family, the Samoan Dynasty, and myself, for well over 75 plus years, we've been in this industry of professional wrestling, and just wanted you all to know that every single time that we came out those curtains, we came out with 110% to give you all what we have. Thank you.
All right, I'll ask the first question and then we'll
Okay.
open up the floor to everyone else.
Let's do it.
All right, my first question, I want to know how hard it was to wrestle barefoot all those years. I mean, you wrestled in places like Puerto Rico and all over the world. How barefoot? What was that
Well,
like?
you know, I mean, as a kid, it wasn't that hard. You know, and being an island boy, coming from the islands, and we walked around with skirts, no shirt on, no shoes on. It was mainly flip-flops. And, you know, we were just used to, you know, walking on concrete and rocks and, you know, out there going to swim and so forth. So it wasn't that difficult. The only hard part about wrestling barefoot is that there's no protection for your toes. So meaning when you're hitting those ropes and that canvas sometimes can be loose, you know, like, you know, from the matches before you. Chances are I've broken my toe so many times that, you know, your toe gets caught up in that canvas because it was loose from the matches before you. And then boom, there it is. It's, you know, you done broke your toe or, you know, something like that. But then of course, you know, the good thing about having a partner, you can always take a bump over to his corner, he'll grab your toe and pull it back in place. So, to answer your question, it was okay, but it wasn't a hard transition for us.
All right, thank you. Who has a question next? All right there.
My question for you is, when you were wrestling Val Venus and you were at the top of that steel cage, what was going through your mind?
I didn't even think I had a mind that time. For anybody at my weight at 425 pounds, what in the hell was I thinking? But this is, you know, this is what you signed up for in professional wrestling. You know, you seek these type of moments that will come in a, you know, in a lifetime. I've always, how many of you guys would, just to raise your hands, where we all remember Jimmy Superfly Snuka, one of the greats in the industry. And we've all seen that iconic jump off of the cage when he done it to Don Morocco in Madison Square Garden. I think I was probably, I don't know, 14 or 13 at the time. And it was like a superhero to me. And I've always said that one day, if I ever get a chance, and of course I didn't even know I was going to be in wrestling at 13. But I said, one day if I ever got a chance to do that, I want to be just like Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Fast forward 27 years later, at 425 pounds. I had no damn reason to eat on that kind. But it's one of those things, when you love what you do, you know you have a responsibility to go out there and perform. You got fans from all over the place that are coming to watch you do your thing. And you know, that's what we are trained for, is when that opportunity comes, you know, it's do or die. But I'm glad I took the chance. Listen to me. I was very, very nervous up there at that time. If you can see the, you know, the YouTube video, as I'm taking my time, sliding, you know, steps going sideways. Because had I, you know, take the one wrong step, and my big ass would have flew off the cage on accident there. And so, you know, when we, I don't know, man, when you're there at that time and you hear people 18,000 strong just cheering you on, like, you know, this is it, they're waiting for you to do it. There's no backing up, man. It really is, you know, but at the same time, that's where your skills and your training as a professional wrestler, to be able to know how to protect yourself. And maybe you'd want to hurt yourself first before you hurt that person that's laying there. You know, we're trained to protect each other, and thank God that, you know, we were both safe that night. I had a few bruised ribs from it, but my thing is, if you can slow motion that and you watch it, as soon as I land, I reached over and I was talking to Valvini, said, "Are you okay?" And he was. So, thank you. Don't try that at home. Next.
Who is your all-time favorite opponent in the ring?
Oh, jeez. Well, for me, I'd have to say Yokozuna. And now we all come from families. You know, there's some of us that are in the same sport or, you know, the same industry, same job, whatever. And, you know, it's always fun what we call rip and joking against each other. And, you know, we've all trained together all the way from, you know, Yokozuna, my late brother, Umama, the Tonga kid. There's 18 of us in this family. I don't know why. But, you know, when you're out there on a big crowd, a big stage, and you're performing with your own family member, your cousin, you know, you get to get away with little jokes in there, you know? Like, you know, wetting my finger and stick it in his ear. This is a big 600-pound sumo guy that can easily whoop my ass if he wanted to. But because we're related, you know, he's like, okay, you got one up on me. All right, you're gonna get it next, but he never tells me when you're gonna get the next one. And, you know, the one time it was, his comeback was in Madison Square Garden. I go to try to lift him up where he's supposed to go up for me to make me look strong in Madison Square Garden. What does Yokozuna do? He dead weights me. He reminded me, you remember that joke you pulled on me 2 weeks ago? I said, okay. So you could have done it someplace else. But it was always fun to wrestle family members. And when you're able to work with guys like, you know, Stone Cold or, you know, The Undertaker, I mean, some of the greats in the industry, you know, it's always that competition level to be able to bring out the best in each other. We understand that, you know, what our job is to be able to go out there and take it to the next level. And, you know, for us, it's from where we come from, the Samoan Dynasty training. Doesn't matter if we're first match or a main event. Our uncles always taught us to go out there and try to steal the show. Thank you. Next. Yep.
Go for it.
Okay. So is there a longevity? So does each wrestler have you yourself have a longevity plan as far as your health? Because I know you want to wrestle as long as you can, as much as possible, without your body taking less, you know, as less beating as possible.
I get you. That's a good question. Most of the time, we're trained for that word longevity. you got to be properly trained to be able to understand your craft. And sometimes less bumps on your body, less abuse on your body in there, you can still go out there and tear the house if you understand theatrical movement. If you understand how to tell a story, psychology. It's like, you know, when you're watching a movie never starts and goes right to the finish. And so with the old school psychology, I mean, you see it. Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, they take you, Jake the Snake, they take you through that drama. Steamboat, Ricky Steamboat, Ric Flair. Now these are some of the greats that I'm talking about. They'll take you through that theatrical ride, right? Where as you see it today, it's like, you know, they're amazing athletes today. But so much of that stuff of high flying and everything, in our industry, it only takes 30 seconds for you to end your career. So if you're flying all around and doing stuff like that, and I'm not knocking that, but chances are you get hurt, you know, a lot quicker versus you can tell the same story by having your facial, your theatrical movement, and taking the fans through that drama and having you more so engage with me versus you just watching my move go boom and you missed it. So there was no emotional attachment between me and you. Like if she were to hit me in the face, instead of me just kind of react and hit her right back, it'll be hit me in the face and I would be looking for you and I would be looking for that camera and I would really, like, as long as it's selling it to my face, to the camera so the people can understand, like, damn, did that really hurt? Or did she really hit him in the face? And so it's those type of movements for us, like from the old school of psychology way in the industry, that's really gonna help yourself longevity in this career. Now, how long does a professional wrestler can go? It's really up to your skills. It's really, you know, when you're in the ring, like, you know, the more you decide, all right, I'm gonna go jump off the top rope in this match. We got 15 minutes. I think I'll jump off the top rope maybe 12 or 15 times. For what? I think I'm just gonna go ground attack and take you through that emotional ride and still get the fans engaged with it. Because fans, they wanna be a part of your match. They want me to acknowledge you, you know, but it's like, you know, a lot of kids and wrestlers today, it's like they kind of miss that. And that's why you see so much, you know, injuries nowadays. You know what I mean? They finally get their big break, and then I feel so bad for them because 2 months later, like they're out, they got a big surgery. You know, rotator cuff is gone, your neck injury is there, and then, you know, you trained all these years to finally make it. Now all of a sudden you're there with possibly an injury that can really, you know, finish your career. So it's, you know, it gets real deep. And for me, you know, my family, we run a lot of wrestling academies. I know that's our calling. It's for this industry, for us to teach the new generation of what professional wrestling really is because, you know, I don't care what it is, like if, you know, without the wrestlers, there's no show. There be so many promoters and everybody's a promoter nowadays, but you can only find real good, solid professional wrestlers. And for those of you guys that are wanting to, I always tell a lot of my students in California, best thing you got right now is this thing right here. You got so much information on here. For me, it's best for you to Google that school, Google that trainer, and let's not, just because there's a ring like 3 miles down the road, but yet you know Harley races about an hour down the road, where do you think I'm going to set my kid? You're going to drive that hour to go to Harley race, because every parent wants their kid to be trained correctly. So for that, it's longevity. That's a key word in our industry. you have to survive, and in order for you to survive, you gotta understand your craft. Thank you, I'm sorry to go on, but I just wanted to make it clear like how serious it is, you know? Okay,
All right, we had a question over here.
okay, next.
So, what are the feelings that you have watching the next generation of your family up and coming in the business? I know you have a large family, nephews, in multiple different, how does that make you feel?
Well, for one, I'm very proud that you know, our bloodline continues to go on, and you know, we have a very huge family. There are some, I mean, I don't know, I think they just come out the womb already wrestling. You know, we're always saying, like, you know, we're the, I'm proud to say we're the biggest family in professional wrestling, you know, past, present, and future today. But, you know, these are the talks we have at home. Like, why don't you go play football? Why don't you go play soccer or rugby or, but for some reason, you know, while we're training, you always have that nephew there, or, you know what I mean, or that niece there, like, come here, let me try this move on you. Before you know it, they got the itch. And so, you know, the legacy goes on with our family, and we're also supportive of each other. Some get it, some don't. Meaning some want to listen, some think they know it all. And, you know, some of your family members like that as well, right? And at the end of the day, we try to support them, you know? And we only can advise them and pray for them that, you know, the evil demons that are on the road, all the temptations that are on the road, that they're able to survive that, you know, because the lifestyle of, you know, one day nobody knows you, the next day you're on TMZ and all over the place, it gets scary, you know. And just with the new generation, you know, we try to, you know, have them understand and that it's more so, it's bigger than wrestling. Wrestling is your job now. You're on the public eye and everything, but you know, at the end of the day, you gotta kind of, you know, open up your wallet and look at your family picture. You know, you got kids, you got a wife at home, and you know, is your priority. You know, so you're not really out here to play games, or yeah, you can enjoy wherever you go. That's fine. Travel the world and be all you can be at the same time, but just know that there's a lot of, you know, you got to survive the road and be careful of what's out there that can really bring you down. You can be made in one day, but you can also crumble and be gone the next day. So, very supportive of the family, just to each one teach one. That's what we say. Okay? Next.
First of all, thank you for coming and sharing your time here.
Thank you, thank you.
I know it's not flip-flop weather right outside. So I talked about the road, and so I was wondering what wrestlers, guys or girls, that you wrestled with made going to work on the road fun.
Oh, geez. You know, there's a lot of them. I want to say, you know, in my era, I had women such as Don Marie, Nydia, I don't even know if some of you younger generation remember who they are. Well, most of the time it was guys like Yoko, The Godfather, Savio Vega, Uncle Fuji, Mr. Fuji. And there was a lot of times with my Uncle Alpha and my cousin Samu. So it was fun to travel with, you know, your certain crew that you're always with. But it doesn't take long, man. If you're on a 2-week tour, it doesn't take long to, like, the third day of the tour, I'm ready to get the hell out and jump in another car. You know, but you know, there's certain people that you do ride with is because you understand and you fully know that they have your back. Meaning, like, if I oversleep or my alarm doesn't, whatever the case may be, I'm not on the bus or the charter at the right time, they'll be the type of person that will come and knock at my door to check on me, to make sure we're up. But then there's those that don't really give a damn about you, because there's always people that are, you know, like, there's a lot of times where people want your spot. So if you're at the top, by all means, I want you to mess up. Because if you get fired, there's gonna be another opening for that top. And so you gotta, you know, protect yourself and have a lot of, you know, you can feel when a person is real. In any job, you know. But for us, it was those names there, those guys there that was very, I enjoyed traveling with, and that even my family, you know, my wife and my kids knew that if I didn't answer my phone or whatever the case may be, they would know where to find me to reach out to those cats. So, and you know, the girls too. You know, I want to tap on something. We talk about the women. For us, in the Attitude Era, the women were like, we treat them like our sisters. You know, it's not like what it is today. The women, man, I'm so happy. I can't tell you that this is a good time for women to be in professional wrestling. It's because they've opened up a whole, given them opportunity, fair opportunity, just to put the cameras on them as much as they do the men. You know, back in the day, you didn't have that. All you had was a bunch of women, like, you were good just to come with a bikini and a bra, right? That was it. Maybe mud wrestling. But now, to be able to see the women get out there and main event on shows, I mean, that's huge. What does that message send out? That it is time for women in professional wrestling. It's been time for women in professional wrestling. The only difference is now is that there's a lot of them now that's just absolutely amazing athletes, and the whole crew now, we understand now, you know, to be able to support each other, men and women on both sides of the industry. So it's always a good thing to be able to see things like that change in the industry. From where we come from, was always male dominant. So, you know, shout out to all the women out there. You know, if you're thinking about being a professional wrestler for women, or you have people that you know, it's a real good time for them to be able to come into not only the WWE Performance Center, but also NXT, and to be able to get out there. You can they're giving opportunities now for women to main event WrestleMania. How cool is that? You know, over 75 plus years, you probably never even seen that. But now it's their time now. So shout out to all the women that are in professional wrestling today. Next. Yeah.
Okay. If you could have a match with any current star, being inside WWE, being out, who would you like?
Roman Reigns.
Why?
Well, I just think it could be like a dream match. You know, it's for me during the time when. First of all, let's say Roman is such a one hell of an athlete. Personally, I know for sure he's one hell of a father, one hell of a family member, just a good person all the way around. I mean, all the success that he has already in the industry, like, is definitely, I'm so proud of what he's already accomplished. And, you know, football was his dream at one time. And of course, we all know having leukemia. God is great. God always has his time. He'll throw a curveball in your life, and then turn around and give you something bigger than what you expected. And so, you know, when I see my cousin out there doing his thing out there, you know, I'm always thinking I still watch. And I'll watch because to be able to see, how they're doing, or that other, that bird on their shoulder, I'll call them and kind of give my input on it. But I think it'll be interesting for me the world to see Rikishi give Roman the stink face.
Next time you,
I like to say, I got something to heal you.
next time you talk to Roman, I think you should suggest that he wrestles without a shirt on, though.
Gotcha. Okay.
Take
There
it
you
off.
go. Gotcha.
I gotta leave, so thank you for answering my question.
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
wanted to say goodbye before I.
Thank you,
All
ma'am.
right,
Thank you for
there's a
coming.
question right over here.
Okay, next.
Why'd you do it for The Rock?
I did it for my bank book. And well, why not? You know what I mean? Ain't that what family is for? So, I mean, listen, until this day, I always say there will never be another era like the Attitude Era. I think the Attitude Era, we pushed a lot of buttons back in the day. I'm surprised we were still on TV. But I mean, it was blessed to be a part of that era. It was a lot of fun guys who worked with during that time. Had a lot of good memories and so forth. And I mean, that really just, when I come to these type of different Comic-Cons, that's all the fans talked about to me. They'll tell me about, about the Attitude Era, and then they'll always say that you did it for The Rock. Why don't you have a T-shirt that you did it for The Rock? Well, I don't know. There's a camera there. Why don't you tell Rock to buy the T-shirt, and we'll sell them at every Comic-Con we go to. But all in all, he was. We all know how The Rock is. He's just one amazing human being, man. I mean, there's a guy there that still inspires me, to continue to move forward. Inspires our whole family, and I'm pretty sure most of the world that's a fan of him is that, to always set your limits high. To never say never quit. To be the hardest worker in the room, right? No matter what you're going through in your life, your personal life, it's that me time with just, yourself, to be able to push yourself to the limits that you want to go to. I think it's easy to feel sorry for yourself, but it's not okay for you to quit, by all means. One time I think in WWE, the heaviest I've ever been, 425. 425. You imagine trying to keep up with Rey Mysterio at 425? But I did it. I did it my way. I took my time. I knew who I was wrestling in. I know what that person can do, but Rikishi did Rikishi. And so, my message for, not even only for professional wrestling, but you guys that are going through it yourself, there's dramas amongst yourself to where you're at in your own working place. As a man, do you. You're not in a race with anybody else. As long as you're not hurting anybody else and you're happy with your performance, you're doing your responsibility on your daily basis, I think you're doing fine and you're gonna be all right. So, same thing what we apply ourselves in professional, it's hard, man. Nothing that's more difficult for me as a father that I can never ever get back is to be able to attend my kids' birthdays, graduations, Thanksgiving that we missed is a sacrifice that I decided to make, that I had to make. Once I joined professional wrestling, I say I know my family, my kids, but I don't. Sounds kind of weird, right? Meaning I was never there in this lifestyle, this job industry where we do 200 some days on the road. You come back, your family's either sleeping, you wake up, they're going to work, they're going to school. By the time they come back, I'm already packed up onto the plane. First flight back out. And this went on for years and years. And my life is when you come home, you'll see like a new furniture. Oh, you see a new painting, or there's a new car now. Oh, we like that. There's a new plant or nice backyard, whatever the case it may be. And I walk through the house with my bags, but I got like a vertebrae that's been bothering me for a whole week on the road. Kind of grumpy, kind of, a lot of being tired, but I know my role. As long as I see my family, that everything is good, everybody's happy, you can rest assured I'm gonna take the hit. And so now is probably the best time of my life, because I get to spend time with my grandkids. I get to go pick them up. I get to go take them to McDonald's or wherever. They're not supposed to go to McDonald's, but I take them anyway. So being a grandpa is real nice now. It's my second part of my life, and after looking back at everything, I probably would have done it all over again. So believe in yourself. Don't let nobody else tell you you can't do it. You got a vision or an ideal in your mind. By all means, go for it. Go for it, because tomorrow's not promised to nobody. All right. Next. Hi, my man.
Who was like least receptive to getting a stink face? How'd you deal with that?
Why did I know the stink face question was going to come? Oh, you know what? It was, man, I want to say everybody. I'll tell you this, when I came back and, I changed up my character to being Rikishi. When the drawing came, I was like, my God, I'm actually wearing a thong. So long story short, we talked about it, and then I, kind of just changed it up a little bit. The colors were too loud, and I kind of wanted it all black and so forth. I wanted my hair to be bleached blonde. I didn't want to spin off of Yokozuna. Wanted to respect him at that level there. But I just wanted to be I wanted to go a different route what a sumo would not do. You don't ever see sumos dance, right? You don't see blonde hair solo. So I went the opposite way. And for me, I was coming towards my contract. I think it was 3 months left before my contract was over with. And this was the new idea, was coming back, if in case I wanted to do this Rikishi deal here. Now, my only concern in my mind, again, as a father clicks in, I got responsibilities. So my only concern was, I said, let me take this back to the house, and I'll give you an answer within a couple of weeks. I wanted to take home so I could sit down and have a chat with my family. We all know, when you have kids and kids go to school, kids can be cruel to other kids. So I wanted to take that home. We sat down at the dinner table and, I had a talk with my boys and my family, and I said, listen here, I'm thinking about changing this character now. I'm gonna go to a different route. My contract is coming up in 90 days. Here's the route that we're talking about going. So I pulled that out the briefcase and I showed the picture. And there it is, what you see on TV today, right? It was like, the boys said, Dad, your ass is hanging out. Well, that's what sumos are. My question to you guys, are you all right with me wearing this out there? Without a doubt, it was a quick answer. Yeah, we support you. that's what you want to do, go ahead. There was no more looking back for me. Who's to say all these years you go out there and Rikishi became the character that put me into the Hall of Fame, that put me into a lot of homes, and it was probably the biggest character, I want to say it is the biggest character of my career. So with the support of your family, you know, and you're going out there, and it was very weird walking through the locker room. You got women and guys that are, you know, all in a locker hallways. You imagine you walking by with a thong on. You know, you can hear those like, you know, you can hear those little laughing and stuff like that, you know. And then you know, I remember, I says, you know what, I can hear it, but I can rest assured I'm gonna make it right. And so every single time when they start to see me start to back that ass up and put the stink face on, all of a sudden I had a lot of friends in the locker room. So at the end of the day, you know, it was all fun. You know, I did certain people, like, you know, they, you know, sometimes people pass gas in there, you know, not intentionally. I mean, it happened. We're all human, right? And so, you know, there's certain times that when I wrestle certain people that I don't like, well, you really gonna get the booty. And if I wrestle people that, you know, we good like that, I'll always tell them, just cheat up underneath that second turnbuckle for a second. That way I can just sit on the turnbuckle for you rather than pie face you with my ass. So I'm always saying, and I want to apologize to everybody for years, you know, watching your TV with me sticking my ass in people's face. And some parents always say that, you know, my kids always watch you, you've been sticking your ass in people's face. Ma'am, I'm sorry. My apologies to you. So, all right, next. Okay, we got some newcomers. Yeah, back there, I see you.
Hey, whoever comes up with these special moves that you guys do on TV, do you guys think about yourselves, or do some producer or something says, hey, you should try this?
Well, what the hell does a producer know? That's all he's getting paid for, just to produce. Oh, well, no, it's part of your training. You know, for us, when you train in professional wrestling, sometimes you stumble across moves that shock you, that you really didn't even know. Like, I mean, I did the 360, 425 pounds. I never knew I could flip like that. But, you know, because you keep training and going through stuff when you're in the gym, and you always practice to, you know, what can you do that makes you look different from what's out there, you know? And, you know, some of those moves, what I like to call your strong points, you know, those are the moves that I would always, you know, put in that one bucket there. Like, I know this looks good for me, okay? It's an unbelievable move to see a 425-pound guy whirly twirl and flip off of a clothesline. Who does that? I didn't think anybody was doing that at that time. I want to say I was probably the first one to do that at my weight. And so, you know, most of the times, you know, when you're sparring with people and practicing, you know, you gotta kind of think out the box to kind of find a move that you feel that the fans would pop over, like to get that wow moment. So, but my goodness, today is like, you know, with all these young athletes that are out there, it's just, these guys are incredible, man. I mean, they do so much incredible moves, like spots non-stop. Like, you know, it's very, very hard to keep up with. And I'm sure they practice, many of hours to be able to perfect that skill right there. But, you know, for me, if you're asking me that, would I do that? Absolutely not. You know, I don't even, it's already dangerous enough walking into the ring. And now why would I want to go and flip upside, you know, upside my neck and, you know, jump over the top rope onto, you know, a cement floor. And I mean, but this is on nightly, 200 days out the year, guys. I can do it we're running one show a month, but 200 days out the year to stay up at that level, it is a special type of human being to be able to do that, you know? And also crazy. Okay, next. Yes, sir.
What was your favorite spot to perform and your least favorite spots to perform?
Come back again.
So what was your favorite spots to perform and least favorite spots to perform?
Well, the stink face. It didn't take too much energy to do that. You know, you got a Rusev shirt on there?
Yeah.
Well, that's one of my students there. He's one of my kids that I train out there in Los Angeles. He's doing very well. No, the spots for me, son, is there is no spot. For me, the spot is when I'm walking out there is I want to perform to the best level I can to be able to give the fans, you know, make them satisfied that if they came to watch me, I wanted to give them their money's worth. And so, you know, in professional wrestling, you know, the spot of the stink face might work here in Fairbanks, but I might go to South Africa tomorrow and do the stink face there and it doesn't work. It's because it's just different fans, different reactions. And so you have to really know how to adapt and know how to switch up, you know, with different places that you're at. So, and that's why it's very important for you to really not become a mechanical worker. You know, you gotta be that type of wrestler to be able to adapt at any given time. I can't tell you, you're gonna do a spot A, B, C, and D. Well, I don't know, we did the A, but for some reason when we were going to do B, I don't know, my knee buckled. Now I can't wrestle, you know, it's broken. But guess what, the show goes on. My friend, we're on a pay-per-view, we still got another 10, 15 minutes to go. So how do we do this? Now we adapt. Everything what we talked about to do after B, it's no more. Now we're just going off the fly now. And so if you don't understand your craft and know how to calm your nerves and know how to see the opportunity, feel the opportunity, and change with the opportunity, you're definitely going to be lost out there. And so for me, the spot is just to, you know, to learn your craft and don't be a mechanical worker, you know. Go entertain for the fans, don't entertain for yourself. Next. Yes, sir.
So for you personally, not necessarily for fans or for family or whatnot, but for you personally, in or out of the ring, what is your proudest moment in the professional wrestling industry? What is the thing that stands out for you the most?
When I got inducted into the Hall of Fame. That was, wait a minute, let me back up. When I finally got a chance for the first time in the WWE ring to be in the same ring with my boys, the Usos. I think we came back, it was 1,000 episode or something like that. And we were able to dance and perform together. So it was like this. It was very emotional when we talked about we're going to do this together. You know, they were excited. I think I was more excited. They were active during the time of WWE. And while we were dancing, you know, there's such a thing that's called a pop in our industry, where you can hear the crowd just lose their mind, like just loud and cheering. So they've experienced that before by themselves. But to be able to be a part of, you know, what they've grown up to see and to watch on TV, people going crazy when they used to see myself in Too Cool Dance. Well, they felt that night to be able to be in the same ring with their father and you know, that emotional ride in there, like, it was like, dang, Dad, this is like magic. You know, to experience that together to hear the fans together and dancing and be a part of what their father used to do, it was a learning lesson about a family that's in this business, about, you know, how we appreciate our fans, because the fans had all said it that night. To be able to learn what it felt like for their father to be in there when it's time to bust a move, how the fan appreciate what their father has done and them today. And so when we were all dancing, it really, when it came to my part, I don't know if some of you guys seen it to where I really didn't dance that long because I was trying to hide my emotions to where I'm starting to get teary-eyed in there. I wanted to be the first and the last dance that I had with my boys there. And was very, I want to thank God that, you know, I was even given that opportunity for all three of us to can never call something like that in the future. And now that it had happened, that I'm grateful. And I'm more so thankful to all you fans of being a part of that night with me and my boys. Was a special night. Then going on to the WWE Hall of Fame, which personally to this day really, really understand why I'm there. It was not because of me. It was because of you fans out there that voted me to get in there. It was you fans that obviously seen some type of value, I guess, that I deserve to be in there. And I appreciate that. I appreciate all the love and support and the votes that, you know, people have sent in to be able to put Rikishi into the Hall of Fame. So thank you. Thank you. Yeah, one more.
One more.
Okay.
The last one.
Big one. Give me a big one. All right. There you go.
Was there ever an angle that you were interested in that you weren't able to do for one reason or another?
You know, yeah. I'd be lying if I say that I wanted to be a part at least one time to be able to be the WWE heavyweight champion. Everyone comes into this industry. If you're not shooting to be the goal to be that number one cat, then I have no idea why you're in it. And I would have loved, I got the opportunity to work with a lot of the main headlines and Undertakers and Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was just, absolutely amazing work. The Rock, Triple H. I would have loved to have had a longer run with Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think that that angle there was probably one of the hottest angles in the Attitude Era. I mean, we even fooled some of my family members and they're in the industry, didn't know because it was a hush-hush. And so I think it would have been very, for me, would have been nice to be able to main event the grand stage of them all, WrestleMania, during that time of the Attitude Era, with that angle with Stone Cold and actually win the title just once. I'd be happy just once to be able to headline WrestleMania with a guy like that, like Steve Austin, who I, probably one of the best performers in the industry, in the history. I mean, a guy that's completed, like, he's full circle. Can cut a promo, can work, one hell of a dude, he gets it. No egos, helps out the new generations in the back locker room. I mean, those are the things that, like, you really enjoy to see somebody at that caliber to be able to be like that. Because after us, there's the newer generation that comes through. And now you can't be that type of person and the newer generation looks up to you. but yet you're an asshole. Yet you're like, wait a minute, guy. You didn't get there by yourself, just by yourself. There were a lot of other people that helped build you to that status. And so it's only right for us and the industry to turn around and give back in such a way. So shout out to the Stone Cold Steve Austin. And there's your answer, pal.
All
Okay?
right. Let's give a round of
All right,
applause. All right.
Yeah, mine's dead, isn't it?
No, mine's dead too.
Okay,
All right. Are you going to be at the table later? Can they still come
Yeah,
by?
I'm actually going there now. I'm going to be flying out. My flight leaves at 7. But
All right.
on behalf of my family, this Moore Dynasty family, and myself, I want to say this, Fairbanks, Alaska, thank you. Thank you for all your love and your support. Thank you for, allowing me to be able to spend time with, even if it's just for a short while. But we know this, that tomorrow's not promised to neither one of us. And I want to say this, that I love you, my family loves you, and we totally appreciate everything you guys have done for us and support throughout the years. And know this, that, that every single time, and I mentioned this before, every single time we came through those curtains, that no, we came out to do 110% to be able to give you everything we got as we hit that race. So with love and respect, may God bless each and every one of you guys. Thank you.